Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Hello, my Teaser King family. This is part two. I'm going to leave the first one. We did talk a little bit about gold. I'll review the baseball. So, all right, your first free pick was Cleveland, 2 units. Your second one was Pitt over 8, 3 units. And then I gave some analysis on the Yankees in Boston. And we're just looking at Max Scherzer, who his last 3 games was 1-1 and 2 pitching. We did pitch 84 pitches in 5 innings and 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, beat Philly 7-5, and lost to St. Louis 5-1. And that was Boston against Toronto. So we were in that. Toley's good. Scherzer, don't know about. All right, I'll show the poker hand with the bluff and the weak play of the aces, and we'll get into preseason football. So I apologize. It's out of my hands. It's YouTube, and all of a sudden I lose the internet, and so just come right back when you see that. When I start freezing up like that, and then I'm gone, I'm coming right back, unless it's 2 hours in, and then I won't. The Cubbies against Washington, Gausman 4-3-0. They picked up from Toronto against Cavelli for Washington. Cubs are 144.9. It's in Washington. Gausman, he's 2-8 his last 10, but he has won his last 2. And his last 6 have been 7 runs, 3, 5, 3, 1, and 2. He did go 7 innings, give up 2 runs last game to KC. So maybe he's getting better, but he was on a tough run, but that was at Toronto. Cavelli at Washington, Oklahoma boy. He's 4-1 his last 5, so he's pitching well. All 6 innings, his last 6, 2 runs, 2 runs, shutout, 3, 3, and 3. So not the big blowout, pretty consistent. Gausman 4-3. So the total on the game is 9. I wouldn't recommend going over with Cavelli. Gausman I like, but I don't know. So we'll pass on that. Philadelphia, Minnesota. We got Philly 103. So Minnesota's 105. I don't like these lines. One guy's the favorite. They can't both be dogs, and a total of 8.5. Aaron Nola 547 and Bradley 378. I guess if you like Philly, it's a good line. You're only 103. Aaron Nola 547 from an LSU guy, Bobby, and he's pretty bad. He's 2-8 his last 10, and 2, 4, 6. 2 runs, 3 runs, 5, 1, 3, and 2. So pretty decent pitching. But losing, and it's 5.47 ERA is probably about a 3.5 right now. Ty Bradley, Minnesota's ace, is he's 7-3 his last 10, 2-2 his last 4. He lost his last 2, mostly unders. Last 6, 2 runs, 5 runs, 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs. So pretty competitive game here. It could go either way. We can't just bet Philly. Again, this is Aaron Nola, not Sanchez or Zach Wheeler, even though they're kind of, well, Sanchez did good. Wheeler struggled yesterday. I'm just going to leave this alone. Bradley's too good of a pitcher, and Philly is kind of slumping a little bit now. Which they all do. They're 64-58. Minnesota's 60-62. So we'll see what happens, but a little bit of slumping going on. Let's see something. All right. Okay. I'm going to pass on that game too. I mean, I like betting Philly when they're bettable. I don't know that they're bettable with Nola against Ty Bradley. If you're playing the worst, the Z team, if you're playing the Z Minnesota team, I would bet Nola, but this is the A Minnesota team with Bradley. So let's pass. That's a damn here. Good game here, Texas and California. Texas 148 and 7.5, and I got to question that. I think it's a bad line. DeGrom 389 against Urena 288. I think Urena is the better pitcher here. Somewhere there's a hair on my tongue, but I can't find it. I hate that. All right. DeGrom is 3-3 his last 6. A lot of overs. His last 6 games, 2 runs, 5-1, 5-1. 3 innings, 4 innings, 5 innings. So he's not really going past 5. He's throwing 90 pitches in his 5 innings. Against Urena, who's pretty good with a 2.28 ERA. Last game he lost to Miami 7-0. He's 3-2 his last 5. 1 run shutout, 1 run, shutout, 4. But the bulk of them were 6 innings. The last game was 2 innings and 4 runs, and he had a 4-inning shutout, so that doesn't really count. So anyway, he gave up 7 and 4 before, which is why his ERA is a little high, but he's pretty good. He's got a 2.88 with DeGrom, who could shut you out anytime, but looks like he's only going 5 and 6 innings. And the total on the game 7.5, which I wouldn't go over with these low ERAs. I really don't know what to do with this game. I still think of DeGrom as when he's on the Mets, and I don't want to fuck with him. And Urena with the 2.88. So you just don't know. They just don't hit. Sometime I'll get the hair out. So I'm going to pass on that game. Milwaukee and the Dodgers. Oh, this is a very good series. Hopefully we get Mizorowski pitching a no-hitter. Drone in against Shisaki. The Dodgers 148.5. This looks like an over superficially. Another guy from Florida State, Shane Drone on Milwaukee. He is 3, 4, 5 and 3 his last 8, 2 and 2 his last 4. 3 runs, 3 runs, 3 runs, 5 runs, 2 runs, and then 6 against Minnesota last time. So he will give up runs. Sasaki from Japan, a Mr. Fuji guy. And he's hot. He 5-1 his last 6, but he did lose his last game. So he was 5-0 and then down 5-1. In his last 6, gave up 6 runs, 3 runs, 1-1, 2 and 2. And usually 5 innings, and he usually goes about 90 pitches. Milwaukee can hit. Milwaukee and Philly have been a little slumpy lately. They've been Harrison got killed the last game, where they got killed in that game. So not really sure what to do with it, but you look at it as an over game. It's 8.5. I really can't bet either pitcher, so I think I'll do that. But I noticed Milwaukee is not winning like they were, and Philadelphia, and it's going to happen. That's why we look at streaks. So, all right, we'll do that. All right, and that's your last game. Oh, yeah, it's Thursday. All right, so Cleveland 2 units, Pitt overs 3 units. And I played 3 other games, and some of these games are just like DeGrom, and that game as much as we like DeGrom, the other guy's a better pitcher. I mean, Urena has got a 2.88 ERA. You can't just ignore it and say, "Oh, it's DeGrom." If anything, I like Urena, but I don't trust California to hit. All right, so that's baseball. Let's go make some money on Cleveland and Pitt. The Cleveland game is like 1:30 in Detroit. All right, let's go to preseason football. Look at today's games. All right, tonight it starts 7:00. And we'll go Cincinnati. Detroit's at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is 7 and 37.5. You don't get Joe Burrow. You probably don't get Chase. This would be a lock over. If we ever got this in the regular season at 37.5, we'd mortgage our gold. Who's the backups? And that's what we're going to find out tonight. We'll see who the backups are, and we'll see how much they play. We know we're not going to get the starters long. Detroit won't play golf because he's such a good quarterback. He doesn't need any practice. Isn't that exciting? He's superstar. Oh, but he doesn't win playoff games. All right. So St. Thomas won't play, and then they just gave that big contract to the running back. Detroit just shot themselves in the foot because they paid a lot to Hutchinson, who's injured. You paid a lot to St. Thomas and golf, and now to the running back, Gibbs. What are you doing? You need defense. And guess what? When your defense gets hurt, you don't have money to get good defensive players. Like they couldn't have gotten Myles Garrett because he would have been too expensive. So it's the same old Lions when they had Barry Sanders. They had Chris Spielman. They let him go because he wanted to renew his contract. You got to have consistency. The offensive line's terrible. So I don't know where Gibbs is going anyway. So we'll see here. But without Joe Burrow and without Goff, what should be an easy over, we don't really know. Both defenses suck anyway, so I can't imagine the backups being any good. I do think this will be a higher scoring game, but we got who's the backup quarterbacks on these teams? I think it's Joshua Dobbs for the Lions. He sucks. I don't know what Cincinnati was. It Turk Schorner or the redheaded Andy whatchamacallit? Andy Dalton. I mean, I don't know who the backups are, so we'll pass. I'm really not picking preseason unless I see something when we have 2 good quarterbacks. Like if Daggio was fighting Kyle Trask, then I would say we're going to bet this team. We're going to bet it over. Green Bay goes to Pitt. Green Bay's 2.5-point favorites in a total of 40.5. What do you do, Aaron? I know there's 4 quarterbacks on Pitt, so you should get some competition. How seriously do they play these games? Because a lot of the coaches aren't serious. I don't know what they're just running the ball and getting sure nobody gets hurt. That's why we can't bet them. Green Bay, Love stinks, so he's not going to. Well, Willis is gone, so I don't know who the backups are. So really, the function and the role of the preseason, this game is to who's the backup quarterbacks for every team, and I'll write them down. And then who's their receivers and backs. We pretty much know the defense, or we will know it from last year. There's not a lot of change you're going to get in the defense, except for the Rams bringing in Myles Garrett. You don't really get that big move on defense. Not a lot of trades, where you trade the quarterback and now you got to look out. The coaches are the biggest thing, like Buffalo. I mean, they get Joe Brady, who was Joe Burrow's coach, and you think, oh, wow, isn't he a great offensive coordinator, until you realize it was Joe Burrow with Chase and Jefferson. So my mother could have put up 45 points a game, and she doesn't even know what football is. So this is the problem. He's not that good. And what you going to do? Josh Allen, he runs the offense. Buffalo's problems, their defense. Let's go through the teams after I read the lines. So Green Bay, Pittsburgh, both teams are kind of average. Rodgers, and then Love is not very good. Micah Parsons probably back the end of October. Mahomes with the same injury is already back, but Micah Parsons isn't. It's crazy. So I think Pitt's probably a good play here. I don't know why Green Bay's a road favorite. Indy goes to New England. Indy is 2.5, 37.5. I don't understand this line. I think New England as a home dog is live. They're the better team. I don't know who the quarterback is of Indy. Even if they're healthy, this is a regular season game. Are you going with whatchamacallit, Richardson, or you're going with Daniel Jones? I don't know. So I doubt that Drake May plays, although Drake May needs the experience. Drake May is no way ready to be a real starting quarterback. So I don't know. New England's defense, they'll play because it's not like offense. And Indy doesn't have a defense. So I think New England's a live dog here. Now, I am not betting any of these games. These are not picks. This is just superficial looking at it. San Diego goes to Houston, and Houston is a 1-point favorite at home, total of 37. This game, you got to go under on. I mean, they're both strong defenses without offenses anyway, if the starters were playing. So with the backups, this is definitely an under game. Arizona goes to Oakland. Oakland 2.5, 42.5. What do you do here? Can Oakland beat anybody? So maybe Kirk Cousins plays, or maybe Mendoza. I would get Mendoza in here. Let him get the feel of playing an NFL game. Oakland's defense, we got to see how good it's become. You're not going to see Brock Bowers. You're not going to see Gentry. Arizona, I doubt you'll see Love. Now, you will see the guy from Miami, Carson Beck, again. So I would lean to take Arizona getting 8.5 with Carson Beck. He looked really good in the first game against Haynes King. They both look good. So, yeah, you can add on Carson Beck. So I assume he'll play the first half. I don't know who else. I think they got a few other. I think Menshaw's there too. Brissett, God knows he's a backup. So that's why they don't have a number one quarterback. They're playing number twos. And so you got to be careful with them. But Oakland doesn't show an offense that can score and even win a game by 8.5 here. So I think Arizona's a live dog. Again, if you are betting me, don't just $5. These are preseasons. Tennessee goes to the Niners. Why is Tennessee a 5.5-point favorite? Total on the game 39.5. I don't know Brock Purdy's backup, and I know Evans, the receiver from Tampa, won't be playing, I would doubt, and neither would McCaffrey. So I don't know. But the game's in the Niners. I like the Niners in 11.5. They're not going to just lay down and who's Tennessee? All right, their quarterback sucks anyway, Cam Ward. Who's their backup? I mean, now, yes, it is whatchamacallit. The coach from the Niners is now the coach of Tennessee, the defensive coordinator. So what? Was you going to come in and blow them up? No. So I think the Niners in 11.5 is a steal here. Tampa Bay goes to the Jets's, and for some reason the Jets are 6-36 is the total. We know the Baker won't be playing, and you don't have Kyle Trask to play. See, I love betting on it. In the preseason, you could bet on Kyle Trask. He's not on one team. I know he got traded. I don't know what team it's on. But again, the Jets is 6-point favorites. I like Tampa in 12. I don't think the Jets. I don't think the Jets could beat Ohio State. Okay, so I don't know how they're going to beat Tampa by 12. I don't know who's playing. That's the only caveat, but no fucking way. Denver 439.5 to Atlanta. I doubt Bo Nix plays, but you got to love Sean Payton in the defense. Atlanta. Now here's where Penix isn't ready yet. Tagliabue should play a little bit to get used to the offense, you would think, or is he on concussion protocol again? I look at this game as an under. Denver's, without Bo Nix, Denver's just going to run, and I don't know who that's where we need to know the backups. In Atlanta, I don't know Tagliabue, but who's the backup? So, a 40 total, probably an under. Both teams pretty good defenses. Miami goes to Washington. This is tomorrow. That was tomorrow too. The last few have been tomorrow, but we don't really care. Miami goes to Washington. Miami's 3.5 points, 36.5 to Washington. We know that Daniels is playing. He will be the starter. I don't know if he's playing in this game, but he's the starter. So they got the backup, whoever they had last year. So I would assume he's playing. Again, I don't get Miami as favored, so I like Washington as a home dog. The lesson I learned is when you got a shit team, a Z team, and they're favored, you bet against them. When they're favored on the road, you bet against. Even in the preseason, I mean, this game's a toss-up. This is tease the dog, but in the preseason, you got to jump on Washington here. I like Washington at 9.5. That's crazy. I don't know where they get these lines from. Here's another one. Cleveland, 2.5 over the Bears. Total of 40.5 in Chicago. I like the Bears and 40.5 and 8.5 there. What's Cleveland? Prime Jr. is going to light them up, or Dylan Gabriel, or whoever else they got on the team. And he even should see Deshaun Watson might even play. He hasn't played in 5 years. So this will be interesting. Carolina and Buffalo. Buffalo is 137.5 at Buffalo against Carolina. I like Carolina getting 7.5 with Haynes King. Superstar. He should easily beat out the quarterback, Steve Young for Carolina. He proved it at Georgia Tech, so I like Haynes King here. And he should get a lot of work because it is a preseason game. And Buffalo won't start Jim Kelly, so what have they got? This is the case they won't try. So go Carolina. Minnesota at the Giants. Minnesota 2.5, 41.5. I like the Giants here getting 8.5. Minnesota, all right, so Kyler Murray's your starter. Is he going to play? It means J.J. McCarthy's going to play. We know he stinks. And the Giants, their quarterback's always probably got concussion now, Dart. So it gets into the backup who needs playing time when Dart goes down. So, again, I just don't buy Minnesota being a favorite. I'll take the Giants in 8.5. Jacksonville, New Orleans. New Orleans, 1.5, 36 to Jacksonville. Ettening's gone from Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, we'll see. New Orleans, Tyler Shaw, but then they have some other quarterbacks there. They're 1.5, 36.5. And I kind of New Orleans has been playing well. Jacksonville, even Trevor Lawrence playing, all he does is run. So I kind of like New Orleans here, but again, we're not betting anything. The Rams at KC. KC 2.5, 36.5. I would bet that Mahomes plays 2 series or so just to get back from the knee injury and everything. I don't think Kenneth Walker will play. The Rams, Stafford's not going to play, but this is a good opportunity for Ty Simpson to show how bad he is at Alabama, and how they didn't draft Tagovailoa with that pick is beyond me. I guess they don't want to be good anymore. It's crazy. So I don't know. This would be a great game, but I'll lay away from this one. Philly and Baltimore. Philly 3.5, 36. At Baltimore, new coach. Lamar certainly is not playing, which means whatchamacallit, the backup will play. I can't, the guy from Utah, Huntley. Philadelphia, without Hurts, Barkley's not going to play. I don't know. I think Baltimore's a live home dog here. Dallas at Seattle. Seattle 2.5, 39.5. Darnell probably won't play. Dallas without Dak. I don't know. This is probably an under game. And New England, Seattle. Oh no, that's week 1. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that, boys. All right, so that's week one, or that's preseason. Let's go through the line for week one now. We got Seattle 3.5, 44 over New England. No Kenneth Walker. We got the Rams 3.5, 48.5 over the Niners in Australia. We got the Bears 2.5, 45.5 over Carolina. We got Baltimore 3.5, 48 to Indy. We got Pitt 342 over Atlanta in Pitt, and it's up to Penix playing or not. Jacksonville 7.5, 40.5 to Cleveland. Let's see what Deshaun Watson looks like, although he's probably not very good. Cincy 3.5, 51 to Tampa. Joe Burrow will be playing that game. Tennessee 339 to the Jets's. The battle of idiot teams. Detroit 7 and 49.5 to New Orleans. In Detroit, we've got Buffalo 1.5, 44.5 at Houston. Very live dog Houston there. San Diego 10.5, 46.5 to Arizona. I'd be interested to take Arizona if Haynes King's the starter, not if it's Brissett. Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay's 1.5. Now there's some Minnesota 1.5, 45.5, and without Micah Parsons. And we got Kyler Murray, the starter, which we don't know what that means. He hasn't played in a couple of years. Oakland 3.5, 40.5 to Miami. In the Sea of Hands game, too. Will Snake Stabler be playing in the game? We would hope so. Against Paul Warfield and Greasy. 40.5. Interesting. We know Miami's going to suck. Philadelphia 4.5, 46.5 to Washington. This game's gone down. This was 6. Dallas 2.5, 3-point favorites over the Giants. Total of 48 in New York. And our last game is KC is 42.5 to Denver. A very live dog in that one. So that's preseason. So let's go through the grades, what we have, how we've graded. How we basically have graded these teams. 11th, I got to go at 12. It's 11-15. All right. So New England, Seattle, I have them both as A teams. New England with the 9 defense, Seattle with the 17. May against Darnell. The Niners and the Rams in Australia. So you got to play it as a road game. So the Rams are a road favorite. The Niners are a road dog. Not a home. It's not in LA. So you have, I got the Niners as a B team with the 24 defense. LA with an over as a 26. It's Purdy against Stafford, but we know with Myles Garrett, take at least 3 points away from the Ram defense. And they had played Seattle a high-scoring game, so that's why their defense is skewed a little bit. Tampa Bay, Cincy. Tampa Bay is an under team with a 23 defense. Cincinnati's an over team with a 24. Baker against Burrow. Detroit 7 and 48.5 to New Orleans. New Orleans a B team with an 18 defense, and Tyler Shaw against Detroit, an over team with a 28 defense in golf. So we'll adjust that. I think Detroit's still going to be an over team, no defense, and New Orleans. We've got to look at this New Orleans 18 defense. Is it for real? Do they really have an 18 defense? I have to look maybe who they played the last 7 or 8 games to really get a feel of, are you kidding me? Like, I didn't see this as an 18 defense, but if they really are, then they will they will win that division. The JETSs go to Tennessee. Tennessee 3 and 39.5. The Jets a Z team with a 38 defense. Tennessee a W team with a 30 defense. Tennessee's got Cam Ward, and the JETSs, we don't know who their quarterback is. And if you notice the good teams, the 9 defense, the 10 defense, and the bad teams, the 35 defense, it's all the defense. Baltimore at Indy, Baltimore 3.5, 49.5. Baltimore a B team with a 21 defense. Indy a W team with a 30 defense. Jones against Lamar. 2 shit quarterbacks. Atlanta and Pitt, Pitt 3, 42.5. Atlanta the under team with a 25 defense. Pitt the B team with the 21. Now, Atlanta's a better team if Penix comes back. With Tate Taylor, well, they'll suck. He'll throw a lot of turnovers. Pitt the B team, I assume Rodgers the quarterback. Good defense. How does McCarthy fuck up the defense, right? Not a very good defensive coach. The Bears, 2.5, 44.5. The Bears, an even team with the 22 defense. Carolina, an under team with the 22 defense. Caleb against Steve Young. I would rather see Haynes King in there. Haynes King's the better quarterback. There's no question. Will the coach be smart enough to play Haynes King? Well, he's a young guy, he's a rookie. All right, give him 5-6 games. And after you get tired of losing with Steve Young, then go to Haynes King. Probably the best thing that can happen is Young gets hurt, King goes in, and then the coach doesn't have to say anything, but Young's not good at all. Young's still learning. Haynes King already knows, right? In the preseason game, he throws 2 touchdown passes. He doesn't need to understand the game, where Steve Young's still learning, because at Alabama, they don't teach you anything. It's just everybody goes long, and then the quarterback throws long. So they really don't teach, like Ohio State, they don't really teach you offense. Cleveland at Jacksonville 7.5, 40.5. Cleveland an under team with a 22 defense. Jacksonville's an 18 with the 17. Now, Cleveland lost Myles Garrett, so they're in trouble. And Jacksonville has lost Etnine, the running back. Lawrence can't throw. He's just a runner. We'll see. I don't know where they were in 18-37 a game. I don't know where that came from last year. I didn't look at them as all that. I think they beat Indy and Tennessee a lot, but big numbers. Buffalo and Houston. Buffalo 1.5, 45.5. They're a B team with a 19 defense. Houston's an A team with an 18 defense. I'm still questioning that. Them and Jacksonville, I'm questioning all these points. They both beat up on Indy and Tennessee. If you notice, those are both bad defenses, Indy and Tennessee, because that's 4 games they got to play with these 2 teams. Stroud, he's terrible. Josh Allen, very good. And again, you got Houston's defense, I believe 18. I don't believe Buffalo's is a 19. They played Denver 33-30. That's not a 19 defense. Miami at Oakland. Oakland 3, 41.5. Miami a W with a 28 defense. Oakland a Z team with a 25. Mendoza against Willis. I believe it could be Kirk Cousins against Willis. Miami's terrible. There'll probably be a Z team again. In Oakland, Z team 25. They did draft a lot of defense. Max Crosby, his knee couldn't handle the physical. I don't think if he does play, he's banged up. I mean, that's crazy. Unless it's all made up that he didn't pass the physical. I don't know what to say about that. Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay 1.5, 44.5. Green Bay, an E team with a 27 defense without Micah Parsons. With Micah Parsons, their defense is probably a 21-22. Minnesota, an under team with a 10 defense, and Kyler Murray now, who's been named the starter. Look for them to score a lot more than with J.J. McCarthy or Max Prosmer. Look for them to get Jefferson a lot more into the game plan with a competent quarterback. Kyler Murray, is he any good? We haven't seen anything from him. All he does is run a lot. So we will see. But he's got to be better than J.J. McCarthy. Washington at Philly. Philly 5.5, 46.5. We've seen some fives in this game. Washington, the Z team, with a 26 defense. Philly, an under team with a 15. When push comes to shove, it's Daniels against Hurts. They're going to struggle against Daniels, Philadelphia. So if Daniels starts, you got to be careful. I don't know if Philly can win with Hurts. And then without A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith's nothing. Barkley will run it. That's their key. And then their killer defense. So we will see. But Daniels had no problem against Philly when he did play 2 years ago. He's a very nimble quarterback, Daniels. He's very accurate, and he's very cool in the pocket. I don't like betting against him too often, especially in this type of game. And you can get 11.5 with Daniels. It's a good bet. Arizona goes to San Diego. San Diego 10.5, 45.5. However, if we get Carson Beck starting, we might be interested in Arizona. 37 defense is their problem, and Carson Beck's not going to help that. San Diego with an 18 defense. So is it Brissett against Herbert? Is it whatchamacallit, Beck against Herbert? We will find that out soon. The problem with Arizona is their 37 defense. And San Diego, their problem is their 18 offense. So they brought in a new offensive coordinator, I guess, but Herbert is still not very good. He kind of looks smooth, but he doesn't really win a lot of games for him. And he wants to run too much. I question if he's a winner or not. He's been there so long and he's done nothing. Dallas at the Giants. Dallas 2.5, 48.5. Dallas an over team. Dak and the receivers with the 34 defense. And the Giants an under team with the 21 defense. Dart, I do not like at all. I do like Scatterboo. The receiver, Neighbors, I don't know if he's ever coming back. It was a serious knee injury. So they need that. They do appear to have a good defense. Dak is, we know, turnover prone. So it wouldn't be surprised me if the Giants won the game on a couple, 2-3 Dak interceptions. But we'll see. And then our last game, the game of the day, Denver, KC. I have them both as under teams. KC's 342.5. Denver, an under team with a 21 defense, and Kansas City, an under team with a 19. But that's with Mahomes out those 5 or 6 games. With Mahomes, they're probably more of they're going to score mid-20s, 19s. They're probably more of an E team, where Denver, I think, will be more of a B team. They'll probably start getting 27, 28, and that 21 number will go down. So I think this is a tight game. One trend here, Denver 34-3 in a teaser the last 2 years. And that counts because it's with Sean Payton and Bo Nix. They cover and cover and cover, especially here. Especially they play KC enough. It's not like, oh, my God, it's Mahomes. They'll pressure him, and Bo Nix will be better. Denver's a very live dog in this game. So now what we do is we got to see the new quarterbacks. Is Haynes King going to start? Is Carson Beck going to start? Is Mendoza going to start? So we got to see how they are. We don't know. What they did in college and what they do in pro are 2 different things. So we've got to see who they are, what they are, and go from there. And then we can adjust our grades. So the grades you see, like Mahomes, KC's an under team. Well, they're not really with Mahomes, but at the time they are. So without Mahomes, they don't score. And then you add Kenneth Walker. How does that going to add? That should make them a much better team. Actually, should probably make a lot more games under, because he's going to run the ball and run clock and open things up for Mahomes. And we'll see. I heard Kelsey saying, I want to have a good year again. He's done. He's toast. This whole thing with this girl, I mean, it's just ridiculous. You got to concentrate on football. Get married when you retire, not now. So now he's apparently married to the girl. I don't know what he sees in her. And so we'll see. But that's he still stinks. That one interception against Philly, when he catches the ball, pops it in the air, and the guy intercepts it at the goal line. What the fuck was that? Right? Don't start costing me money because you can't catch the ball anymore. So I would like them to get rid of Kelsey and start somebody else. He's done. But we'll see. He wants to have a good year, but I don't think he's capable of it. I think there's a point. It's like Scherzer for Toronto now. He just is. It's over. You're too old. You're not good anymore. Get the fuck out. So that's what we got. All right, we're going to look at this poker hand, and I'm going to dissect it. And there's two problems I have with this poker hand.
Get ready to make the best bet at Four Winds Casino Sportsbook.
Okay. It's called the dumbest fold ever with pocket aces. So one guy's got pocket aces. The other guy's got king 10. And this is A, this is not how you play pocket aces. And B, the bluff is so obvious. We'll discuss the bluff when it comes. First, I'm going to play it 7 minutes. I'm just going to play it and I'm going to shut up. Then I'm going to eat it up. All right.
No, I'm lying. Yeah, it's real.
Ball Newey. 7-4 folded now to Scott Seaver, 29-year-old pro with one bracelet, king 10 of spades.
I love Scott, but he dresses every day like he's on vacation between 7th and 8th grade.
He's got $11 million in live earnings, raised to $1.2 million from Scott Seaver.
Rick Solomon dresses like he doesn't give a damn.
German pro Christoph Vogelsang folds his button. Coleman in the small blind, Jack 9 of diamonds.
Starting at 9.6.
Coleman looks more stylish in black than in white.
He folds his small blind to Tobias Reichenmeyer with aces.
German-born, lives in London. His favorite city is Melbourne. And just before one drop, he visited San Diego and loved it. What's not to love?
Reichenmeyer with the aces just calls. I guess he doesn't want to scare Seaver off.
Well, Seaver has
Okay,
a relatively
well,
short stack, so Tobias is going to slow play these aces.
All right, here's the flop. Heads up. 4 queen deuce. Reichenmeyer's aces are not threatened.
These two have played a lot of super high rollers together.
Reichenmeyer checks his aces. Seaver's king 10 must be playing in a different game because there's nothing there in this flop.
Seaver hopes a continuation bet ends matters. It will not.
You think this is a leak in a lot of pros, don't you? That continuation
Oh,
bet
sure.
is a continuation loss. $1.5 million from Seaver with the C bet, as they say.
And this is setting up perfectly for Reichenmeyer. He's got Seaver right where he wants him, Lon.
Well, Reichenmeyer slow played the aces pre-flop. What does he want to do here? Well, just a call.
Uh-oh, Seaver's gone into DEFCON mode.
He does have that other side of him. Turn card now. Jack of clubs. Reichenmeyer still best. Seaver now open-ended. And Tobias has to worry now about a third club on board.
Will Reichenmeyer continue to let Seaver stab at it?
Tobias checks again.
If I saw Scott sitting on a park bench like this, I'd figure his wife had left him or his dog had been run over by a car or he just ate some really bad bulgogi. We saw him continuation bet on the flop. Then when he keeps betting on the turn, I call that C-bet squared. It can win you a lot of pots or it can get you in a lot of trouble. I never C-bet square.
Put them all in.
Wow, there's a playa.
Oh, is it?
All in for over $6.8 million.
Boy, Seaver dangling on a cliff. Reichenmeyer has slow played his aces exquisitely. He's played like he's not strong. Now he's a bit unsure and in a dicey spot.
6.825.
Scott Seaver applying maximum pressure. Well, the maximum pressure he has to Rankemeyer, who has the bigger stack.
Scott, I was trapping. Trapping.
This is for 2/3 of his remaining chips. If Tobias calls here and loses this hand, he'd be down to 5 big blinds.
Am I allowed to tell my hand away? The best.
Everyone knows your hand anyways.
Really? What is my hand?
It was either king, queen, or ace, queen. The only thing you would ever call.
You're wrong, man.
Oh, wow.
I'm better than them.
Ooh, that's a nice hand.
The best starting hands possible in poker.
Nice. With the club?
With the club, I would have paid the bet already.
I understand. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
I know.
It's brutal, though.
I know, it is brutal.
And on one drop, too. Yeah.
I know, it's like not...
But you can't sweat it, you know? These things just happen.
I could still throw my hand away. No.
I would look at you a little...
I know you
I
would.
would think less of you.
I know you would. I know.
To his credit, Scott seems very comfortable. He just looks and sounds so casual and confident. I might think he's holding a monster.
I know, Scott, but honestly, I'd rather disappoint you and get away if you're ahead. And, you know. Yeah, I know.
Okay. I think I should shut up now.
I mean, you don't have the ace queen.
He's right.
It's unlikely. I don't think you would jam the king queen there.
He's right again.
So you could have king 10 or 10-9, of course, with club, but even against those hands, I wouldn't normally fold this. You know that, Scott. But you don't put me on aces either.
Scott doesn't look as comfortable now.
Sorry, I just got this really tough spot. And it's quite a big final table too.
Tobias Rankemeyer in the middle of a very difficult decision, trying to figure out if his pocket aces are good against Scott Seaver and his all-in. We, of course, know Scott does not have a made hand. Clock. You see Daniel Negreanu calls the clock, as is his right.
Tobias has taken nearly 10 minutes with this decision.
Clock started at 9.
So now Tobias has 1 minute
You can answer that.
before his hand is dead.
My doctor doesn't examine me this thoroughly.
For all of Seaver's chips and almost all of Rankemeyer's chips.
Well, Tobias with the best hand, but if he's up against a flush, he's drawing dead. If he's up against a set, he's got 2 outs. If he's up against 2 pair, he's way behind.
Rankemeyer running out of time. And he folds.
There's no chance that's aces. That would
Impossible.
be no chance. So, how can you do that?
Rankemeyer does.
Nice hand.
Okay. That was probably the stupidest part. This guy's a professional. Like, how do we play the guy? All right. First of all, aces. Scott Seaver bets. He doesn't raise. You got aces. You raise back. You don't check the flop. Secondly, the flop comes out. Queen, whatever. Well, we can kind of. Let me talk through this. All right. I'll pause and make my comment.
Yes, really.
This is how you should play this
Oh,
game.
Dewey. 7-4 folded. Now to Scott Seaver, 29-year-old pro with one bracelet, King 10 of spades.
I love Scott, but he dresses every day like he's on summer vacation between 7th and 8th grade.
He's got $11 million in live earnings, a raise to $1.2 million from Scott Seaver.
Rick Solomon dresses like he doesn't give a damn.
German pro, Christoph Vogelsang folds his button. Coleman in the small blind, Jack 9 of diamonds.
Starting at 9.6.
Coleman looks more stylish in black than in white.
He folds his small blind to Tobias Rankemeyer with aces.
German-born, lives in London. His favorite city is Melbourne. And just before one drop, he visited San Diego and loved it. What's not to love?
Rankemeyer with the aces just called.
Okay, that should have been a raise up to like 2.4 million. It's okay to win $1.2 million plus the antes. So I don't know what he's thinking. His hand's not that strong, as it turns out. He folds it. Aces are only good pre-flop. Once the flop hits, you're fucked, right? What is he doing? Why is he? Oh, I'm slow playing. The guy bet 1.2. He's not going anywhere. Would I have put them all in? No, I would have raised to see where I'm at. Basically, you bet to see where you're at. You're slow playing. You're not slow playing anything. Your slow play blew up in your face because all you got was aces. And okay, maybe you check there, but that's it. But your head's up. I would bet more, figuring the guy's got a pair or an ace king or a pair of tens or whatever. I would have bet, and on pre-flop there, I would have made it 2, 4, or 3 million, and let him either come over the top and then I call, or let him call, whatever. I get to know what he has, which is the whole point.
I guess he doesn't want to scare Seaver off.
Well, Seaver has a relatively short stack, so Tobias is going to slow play these aces.
All right, here's the flop. Heads up. 4 queen deuce. Rankemeyer's aces are not threatened.
These two have played a lot of super high rollers together.
Rankemeyer checks his aces. Seaver's king 10 must be playing in a different game because there's nothing there in this flop.
Seaver hopes a continuation bet ends matters. It will not.
You think this is a leak in a lot of pros, don't you? A continuation
Oh,
bet
sure.
is a continuation loss. $1.5 million from Seaver with the C bet, as they say.
And this is setting up perfectly for Rankemeyer. He's got Seaver right where he wants him, Lon.
Well, Rankemeyer slow played the aces pre-flop. What does he want to do here? Well, just a call.
Okay, what is he doing? Now there's 2 clubs on the board and a queen. You still don't know what Seaver has, which is a huge problem when you don't know. The guy's betting and you don't know what he has. How good are your aces now? There's 2 clubs on the board and a queen. Maybe he hit the queen. Maybe he paired the queen. I don't know how at the end he says, well, you didn't have ace queen or king queen. How do you know? You have no idea what he has. That's the problem with checking and not betting and thinking your aces are that much better than everybody's. What the fuck are you doing? You're slow playing yourself and you're killing yourself. You make your bet. You've got the best hand. You take your profit and go. He should have raised there for sure. 100%. You're slow playing what? You don't know what he has. He bet $1.5 million. You bet $1.5 million again. You're calling. You're blind. You don't know what. You know you had aces, but aces aren't that strong. Now that the flops come out, your aces have shrunk to nothing. All right, let's go to the next card.
Uh-oh, Seaver's gone into DEFCON mode.
He does have that other side up. Turn card now. Jack of clubs. Rankemeyer still best. Seaver now open-ended.
See, now we look at the problem. There's 3 clubs on board. How good are your aces? You don't know what he's got because you haven't knocked on the door. You're a fucking idiot. This guy's a pro. I'm slow playing you. What do you mean you're slow? Why? He's betting. You need to come over the top and win the hand. You don't want a 4th club to come out. This is what I don't understand about this whole thing. He's not. You're gonna let 4 clubs come out? over the king, queen, jack, or whatever it is, you're crazy. What are you going to do with 4 clubs come out, right? So, all right, let's see.
And Tobias has to worry now about a third club on board.
Your aces have gone to
Rankemeyer
nothing.
Continue to let Seaver stab at it.
Tobias checks again.
If I saw
Okay, why is he checking? There's 3 clubs on board. What are you going to do if the 4th club comes on board? You're going to call? Seaver's betting. So, I mean, basically, now why are you checking? There's no more slow playing this. If a 4th club, so let's say Seaver checks, which I would have done if I was Seaver because I had king, queen, jack, 10 now and 3 clubs on board. 4th club comes, I bluff my flush. If an ace or 9 comes, I made my straight. So either way, he's gonna get. See, Seaver, that's Seaver's mistake. He should not have went all in here. But if we go ahead,
sitting on a park bench like this, I'd figure his wife had left him, or his dog had been run over by a car, or he just ate some really bad bulgogi.
so king, queen, jack, 10 for Seaver. And the
We saw
3
him continuation
clubs.
bet on the flop. Then when he keeps betting on the turn, I call that c-bet squared. It can win you a lot of pots, or it can get you in a lot of trouble. I never c-bet square.
I'm all in.
Wow, there's a playa.
Okay, he's all in. Obvious bluff. If he hit the flush there, he wouldn't go all in, right? There's no straight for him to hit. It's queen, jack, or something like that. So he's got king, queen, jack, 10. It's 100% a bluff. Because if he made his flush, he's checking. He wants you to get out. Why? You already made your flush. Are you worried he has a flush? This, I don't think so. Why would you worry about him having a flush? This is the most obvious bluff I've ever seen. Well, one of the most obvious I've seen. Why go all in? So now what you've done, Mr. Aces, by slow playing is you've slow played yourself. You have no idea what he has because you never bet to see if he calls or not. You're in a position where you should have went all in on the flop or the pre-flop or the flop. You should have went all in. You're letting him dictate. And again, as I say, the all in here is 100% bluff. Pure and simple. I'm making the big bet so you fold. But these professionals it's like over their head. They're clueless to what the bet means. Why did you make the bet? Well, if you had a flush, you would not be betting. You'd be checking. Maybe you'd bet if you're afraid that you have an ace of clubs, and if another club hits, but I have maybe queen, 9 of clubs. I've hit my flush. That could be the only thing going on, but I doubt he would go all in on that. It's to get you to fold, right? Either way, even if he has queen, 9 of clubs and he's got the flush, is he really going to go all in so you fold the ace of clubs? I don't think so. So the all in is to get you out. It's a bluff 100% of the time here. Because if you would have bet, you would have known, well, he doesn't have like 3-5 of clubs where he now hit a low flush. This is the problem with slow playing aces. It's not that good of a hand after the flop, especially after the turn. Once 4 or 5 cards are out, your aces are worthless. And you don't know what to do with them anyway. So what are you doing? Think about it. Why did he make the bet? There's only one answer. He bet the bluff. He bet to get you out. There was no other explanation. Nobody's betting a flush all in on the turn. And if you would have made a little bet, then obviously if you had 5-6, he wouldn't be calling you. So the prudent play on the flop, he checks, you check, he bets, is to go all in. You go all in. And then if he calls, you got aces. If he doesn't call, who cares? You've won a couple million. You won $1.5 million on his first bet and $1.5 million on his second bet. Thank you very much. I've won. I take my profit and I move to the next hand. But by slow playing, what have you done? You don't know what he has. So now he makes a big bet and you're like, I don't know what I have. Then what's the point of the slow play? Why are you slow playing in the first place if you're not going to call? So you check the turn, he goes all in. What was the point of the slow play? You should have went all in to avoid the flush. That would have been prudent. I'm going to go all in because you might have 4 clubs and I'm going to prevent you from getting the flush. But there's no way he goes all in with the flush on the turn. There's no chance. There's 0 chance. If I hit the flush there, am I going all in? There's no straight on board. So what is it? Do I have 2 pair and he's worried about the flush? It's just ridiculous. So it's a bluff 100% of the time here. You got aces, but since you slow played them, you have no idea. That's why you got to bet. You want to get information here. You can't slow play. And now he goes all in. Now what do? You don't know where you're at because you never made a fucking bet. You don't need to slow play here. The guy's betting $1 million. You could have raised him, and then let's see what he does. And if he goes all in, you're fine. You got aces. You fold them or whatever. I fold aces a lot when I get checked raised. So let's say the flop came and the guy had a pair of queens, and now he's got a set of queens. Normally he checks, and then I bet, and then he goes all in, and then I fold. I know my aces are no good, but that's not what we got here. So now
all in for over $6.8 million.
Boy, Seaver dangling on a cliff. Rankemeyer has slow played his aces exquisitely. He's played like he's not strong,
but he doesn't know.
He's a bit unsure in a dicey spot.
See, but he's slow played them to the point where he can't call with them.
Seaver applying maximum pressure, well, the maximum pressure he has to Rankemeyer, who has the bigger stack.
Scott, I was trapping.
So now he's looking for a tell. He's looking to see what Scott will get nervous, and then he knows he's bluffing. We already know he's bluffing. He went all in. What the fuck? That's the bluff. That's the tell. That's why I say the betting's the tell. So now he keeps staring at him, looking for a tell, but he's got the tell. The tell's the all in. But these guys don't understand looking at the bet. They don't understand anything. The bet's to get me to fold. Well, I got aces. I'm not folding. Does he really have 2 pair? No. Did he really catch a flush and go all in on the turn? No fucking way. Nobody's going to do that. They're going to do exactly what you did. They're going to slow play the flush. If anything, he would have checked back if he actually had the flush. He would not have bet. He wouldn't have went all in if he hit the flush.
This is for 2/3 of his remaining chips.
So he keeps looking for the tell.
His hand, he'd be down to 5 big blinds.
Am I allowed to tell my hand?
Now, does Seaver normally look down is the question, because then it would be a tell also.
Oh, wow. I'm better than them. Ooh.
That's a nice hand.
The best starting hands possible in poker.
Nice.
Even when Seaver talks, he's nervous.
Club, I would have paid the bet already.
I understand. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do.
I know.
It's brutal, though.
I know, it is brutal.
So he's nervous.
And on one drop, too. Yeah.
I know, it's like not...
But you can't sweat it, you know? These things just happen.
I could still throw my hand away. No.
I would look at you a little, like...
I know you
I
would.
would think less of you.
I know you would. I know.
To his credit, Scott seems very comfortable. He just looks and sounds so casual and confident. I might think he's holding a monster.
I know, Scott, but honestly, I'd rather disappoint you and get away if you're ahead. And, you know... Yeah, I know.
Okay. I think I should shut up now.
Okay, that's the tell right there. I've been talking too much. You might read my bluff. I should shut up now. That's another tell that he's got nothing. He's bluffing. And It's just.
I mean, you don't have the ace queen.
He's right.
It's unlikely.
Why? Why is it
I
unlikely?
don't think you would jam the king queen there.
He's right again.
So
So he jams with the bluff.
you could have king 10 or 10-9, of course, with club, but even against those hands, I wouldn't normally fold this. You know, that's not.
He keeps talking to look for Scott Seaver's tell. That's what he's doing. He's talking and talking and talking to get a tell out of him. And he's got the tell. The tell's the all in. It's just it's so hard to watch this shit. And he's a pro and he's clueless. How do you not bet your aces and then somebody goes all in and now you don't know what to do? That's why you bet the aces. Pre-flop, I would have raised. The flop hits, maybe so. He bet, so Seaver bet the million, whatever, 5 pre-flop. Maybe I call there. But then when the turn comes and he bets another 1,000,005, I'm putting him on queens. I'm going to make a big bet. I'm going to make it 4 or 5 million because they're playing 1.5 and it's a tournament. I would go 5 million. And if he goes all in, I call him. I'm pot committed, or else he's going to fold, and he'll probably fold. He's bluffing. But if you raise the bluffer, he folds. So what he does now, looking for a tell, is absolutely ridiculous. So again, how to read the bluff. And this is a perfect example of you don't slow play your aces like that. And when the guy goes all in, he's bluffing. And that is today's lesson. So you're playing poker and some guy goes all in like that, he's bluffing 100% of the time. Why did he bet it? He wants you to fold. He doesn't want you to call. If he wanted you to call, he wouldn't have bet all in, right? So that's the big problem. So Seaver's obviously bluffing, and the guy misses the whole clue of the all-in bet being the bluff. All right. So with that, I got another 2 minutes. Again, your free play baseball. It's a short day. We got Cleveland and Pittsburgh over are your free plays. I played 5 games. There's a few confusing ones. Let's look at our gold and silver. But when I watched that this morning, and I said I gotta show this. Why Seaver is like worst fold ever, and he says I can't believe he folded aces. Did you really think he hit the flush? Because there's no straight on board. I would not have played it like that. If I'm Seaver, first of all, when I get the possible straight, king, queen, jack 10, and the board has 3 clubs, and he's checking, I'm going to check back. I'm going to see if I catch the straight on the river. That would be me. And then I would go all in with the bluff, and then he'd fold, and that would be it. All right, let's see. We are with our gold and silver. I have to refresh the page. Like, why do I got to refresh it? The drama. All right, so gold's 43.64. The 10 o'clock drop. It did bounce back to 43.85 and then back down to 43.64. No reason. They're just shorting from yesterday's up. But China will eat it up. So again, at least we're in the 43.60s. Silver at 64.66 is just a pure joke. There is no reason for that at all. What are they shorting silver for? Let me just put this in. All right. So it's about 8 minutes. All right, so it's not too far, but I don't normally go the other direction. All right, that's it. So again, that's your baseball for today. The preseason, we're going to watch. We're trying to grade the teams, and we don't know yet. There's questions, there's variables. We got 10 new coaches. We've got not a lot of new quarterbacks. You got your Haynes King and your Carson back. Mendoza, he's not going to be very good. That was a big mistake to take him one. I don't know what Oakland's thinking. They could have had Ruben Bain and short up their defense is what they need. Do what Denver did. Denver short up their defense, then took Bo Nix in like the 3rd or 4th round. It was a steal. So anyway, I can't believe Haynes King didn't get drafted. Carson Beck did. And that's it. So I'm off to get my hair cut. And I hope you are well and have a good day. And I think that's about it. Okay. So again, how to read the bluff. The all-in is a bluff. Because if you think about it, the all-in is to get you to fold. That's the point of the all-in. You fold. And that's the idea. All right, www.teaserking.com. Again, this is part 2. Part 1, I see. Part 2, I didn't lose the internet, so I don't know. Anyway, that's what's going on. So I went through baseball, preseason football, gold and silver. Again, we're still stuck with the paper. The demand's huge. The U.S. has lost the war in Iran and the war in Ukraine. They're both lost. We are out of money. We are bankrupt. Keep that in mind. And just prepare. I think the food will be okay with, but the money, we're in big trouble. It's not worth anything. So again, the prices are not inflation. It's the money supply going down. The money's lost its value. It's bankrupt. So the more you can Rumpelstiltskin and turn your dollars into gold and silver, the better off you are. So that should be the goal here. All right. Well, have a good day. I am off. All right. www.teaserking.com. I would say next week, you want to buy my football. I think that's, the 20th. The next weekend, I think, would be a good time. I'm sure I'll post games by the weekend, especially after seeing the preseasons. Well, actually, it doesn't even matter because we're looking at college the first 2 weeks. All right. Have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Thank you.